What is happening, folks, at All Access Live? I am so glad to see you guys here. By the seat of my pants, I got here just in time. It's gorgeous outside. It's beautiful and sunny. You wouldn't believe it that it's the beginning of March in Portland, Oregon, with 60s and sunny. So it's hard to be inside, but I'm excited because I get a really cool opportunity to talk to a great guest today. Before I do, let me thank my sponsors at 5-Star Guitars. 5 stars you see in the link below, 5starguitars.allaccesslive, will take you to a page that has several pages of guitar accessories, repair information. They have lessons with pros like Jennifer Batten. When you go to that link and you buy anything off those pages, add the promo code ALLACCESS15 and you'll get 15% off all of those items, and there's no sales tax. So you're going to save 15% on top of the fact that you're going to save money if you're anywhere outside of Oregon by shopping with no sales tax. So do so. Let them know that I sent you. I'd appreciate that. You'll also be able to book lessons with pros like Jennifer Batten, who is not only the guitarist for Michael Jackson and Jeff Beck. She lives in the Great Northwest. She's teaching at a 5-Star Guitarist right now, and she has a Guitar Cloud Symposium that's incredible. She offers this opportunity for guitarists to sign up for this link below. And with several different professionals like herself, she's been able to teach people techniques, opportunities for getting great gigs, which is her next opportunity on March 20th. If you go to Guitar Cloud Symposium, you'll get into her deep dive seminar where she'll teach how to get the best gigs. And I think she probably knows that answer. So she just had Dweezil Zappa on as a featured guest on this last week's symposium. She's had Steve Vai and other pros like that before. So if you're a guitarist and you're interested in getting really, really good, then go to guitarcloudsymposium.com. Now, before I get started with my guests, I want to tell you, if you have not yet done so, please subscribe to this channel. I have a rebroadcast of this coming up in a couple of hours on Facebook. But if you subscribe to this channel, you'll not only get notified about upcoming events, you can go back through and dig through 160 episodes of All Access Live since we started in May. So my next guest is a fantastic singer-songwriter. He's got a couple of different band projects going on, and he's got a new single called Tragic. I adore this man, and I think you will too once you get a chance to take a look at him. This is Mr. Mykel Illa. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, I am doing well. I'm just listening to you talk about how beautiful of a day it is, and it's super nice.
It is so nice, man. You've met my dog, Edgar Allan Pug.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He comes into this room a lot, but right now he turned off the power strip to my ring light just before we went live. So he wants to go outside. So he's trying to get on the conversation.
You're not going to do this today.
Yeah, he probably thought he knew I was going to come to you, and he thought, "Oh, that's the guy that gives me dog treats." Right? So
I'll let it slide this time. I'll let it slide.
No, well, I didn't bring any Dutch accoutrement, but since they're not paying you for that sponsorship, then we don't need to.
Oh yeah. If they hit me up for a sponsor, then we'll talk.
Yeah, that's right. I thank Mike Klaus. This guy, I have a friend here in the chat who's been a regular guest and friend of this show for forever. So Mike, welcome. You're gonna like this guy a lot. If you don't know this Mike, that's on my show.
What's up, Mike?
Why don't we do this? I was going to talk about your background for a second. Besides being an incredible musician, you're also kind of an accomplished streaming gamer. Is that right?
Thank you. Accomplished is a strong word, but I started recently. That was definitely just kind of a thing that I've always wanted to do. I've always been a big old nerd, and streaming was just so interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I finally figured out how to get my whole camera set up and microphone set up. And once I got that figured out, I was like, oh, this is easy. So it's easy to start, but like the whole trying to promote yourself and like get some like new followers that aren't just your friends and stuff is hard in that aspect. Yeah. It's a lot different than promoting yourself with music and whatnot.
Are you using Twitch as your primary stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've only streamed on Twitch at the moment.
No, I'm right there with you, right? I've got a good network of friends and people that I've met over the years around the world, but they're primarily, a different demographic than yours, right? So the 40 to 60 range is what I see watching my show most often on YouTube, and they're Facebookers, right? So when I started doing this show, I was getting well over 1,000 viewers on the Facebook show by itself.
Oh wow.
When I switched over, for a live stream, and then when I switched over to primarily YouTube, it's a little bit smaller, but we get we catch back up on people after they watch on
Oh
Facebook
nice.
later on.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
Twitch, totally different thing, right? I just started doing Twitch because my boys, they said, Dad, if you want to appeal to a younger demographic, you got to go onto this other platform. So man, I'd heard about Twitch, but how do you get started on something like that? Like, okay, obviously you like to play games, but
Yes.
and you're you're playing network games with other teams and squads. Do you have a game in particular that you're primarily known for?
I play a lot of Overwatch and World of Warcraft, which I'm
Okay.
sure you've heard of. At least World of Warcraft. That's like
Yeah.
the iconic nerd game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been my game since I think the 5th grade. My best friend Kenny, he got me into it, and I was hooked ever since. Like I don't know if you can see it there. Oh, where it's like on the inside. There it is.
Oh, no way.
It's a World of Warcraft tattoo. It's yeah. I absolutely adore the game, and so I've been playing it for like 13 years now. But yeah, so I mainly play that. I definitely started playing that, but I figured until you have like a following already, it's better to start with something competitive and more interesting to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, because World of Warcraft is more like, if you know the lore in World of Warcraft, you'll enjoy what I'm doing. But if you don't, you're gonna be completely lost. So
Okay.
yeah, Overwatch has been my jam lately.
Mike says he's hardcore. This dude is hardcore, but you know what's
Oh yeah.
what's great about this? I mean, I want to know more about how you've developed this following, because I would imagine that people find you through keywords, right? So, and word of mouth, they find out that do you have what's your handle on your Twitch stream?
I think it's Jelly Puff with 3 L's.
Okay.
Don't ask me why. I don't know why.
That's all right. How do people find you? They're just playing Overwatch?
There's been a couple people. Yeah, so like there's genres that you can choose, and then there's also specific titles. If you're looking for a specific streamer or like a specific game, you can go through all the streamers that are streaming that game. Mainly, I feel like my demographic has been my friends, which has been super dope. I have a lot of supportive friends, which is really nice. But then also I have a few from the games that I were playing. Okay. I'd be playing a game that I'd mentioned in the chat that I'm streaming, and then I've had a couple followers from that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm still just starting on that. I think I'm at like 47. Once I hit 50, you hit like affiliate, and then you can get paid for it. But
really, okay,
we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
When you start your streams up, so if you've got 47 followers, they have to. Are they basically they're notified, right? So when you start streaming your game,
you can be notified. Yeah. Okay. So like honestly, I am not well versed in Twitch. Okay. I have so much to learn still. I know how to get it going and start streaming, but there are so many like small analytics of it that I am completely lost on.
That's all right, man. You know, I didn't promote you as a gamer at all in the setup for the show, but
it's all good.
But I love the setup. You know, I had you zoomed here. Let me do this. I'm going to make you big. So you've got multiple monitors back there. You've got you've got a room that's basically dedicated to your gaming, right?
Yeah, so it's actually my dining room. Yeah, I have a monitor right here that's off screen. Then I have my second monitor here that I normally use to look at everything I'm doing and how the camera looks.
That's awesome. As you know, my son Caleb is a big fan of yours. I don't know if you guys have gamed at all, but
we haven't gotten a game yet. No.
Okay, both of my kids are into the streaming games, but I know that you and Caleb have other connections as well.
Yeah.
When you first started talking to me about playing, you mentioned that you're a bass player. Do you mind me like mentioning how we first met?
Oh, go ahead, please.
All right, so Michael's like this wicked barista from the local coffee shop near my place, and so typically just before I'm heading out on my walks with my pug, I stroll through or I ride through, drive through, and Michael's there just blasting beats at the local Dutch Bros, right? So, but I remember talking to you about music, and you were telling me about playing bass. You started playing with a band called Delta Avenue. Now, was that your first band project?
No, this has been my latest band project, and I hope my last. But no, I started off my first band about 5.5 years ago. Okay, it was a band called Trying to Sleep. It was a couple theater buddies of mine that I went to high school with, and we were still friends after 2 of them graduated. but we're like, oh, let's put together a band. And I was originally just going to be a lead singer. And I was like, awesome, dope. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
But then when we started putting it together, they're like, Mykel, we need a bassist. And I'm like, don't look at me. I don't know how to play an instrument.
Oh, really? You didn't even know how to play it at all?
Oh, no. I started playing because we needed it. And I had zero instrument skills whatsoever. I had played the trumpet in the 6th grade and I was pretty dang good, but that was it. That was so I picked it up. Me and my buddy Shane husband, he's definitely hands down one of my best friends. Really good guy. But him at the time, he was like, I'll make you a deal. I will buy it for you, and if you like it, you can pay me back if we continue doing that. If not, don't worry about it. And I was like, oh yeah, like straight up really good guy. So I was like, okay, I'll take you up on that. And after a couple months, I fell in love. Honestly, you want to hear the song that made me really want to get into it?
Yeah.
YYZ by Rush.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, did you tell Caleb that?
No, I don't think I have. I don't think I've mentioned that.
Okay, I shouldn't laugh about it. So Caleb was, an amazing drummer, but really was a late bloomer. As soon as he heard Rush, specifically YYZ, he renamed himself. KK Rock's YYZ was his name. He obsessed about Rush. He's got Neil Peart's replica drum set in my space here. Yeah, he's.
I've seen pictures of that. Yeah, that thing is epic.
He's hardcore, man. And so you guys would get along. That it's interesting to me though that YYZ at your age is something that got you right away because the chops are great. The solos, the little bass solos and riffs and that are awesome.
Geddy Lee is phenomenal.
Yeah, he is, man. But I would have expected, something a little bit more modern. But so were you trying to play like YYZ right off the bat? Were you trying to
So the band, we started with a bunch of covers. We did a couple Beatles covers. We did like Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet. It was kind of more classic rock-ish stuff. Mm-hmm. And they were fairly easy to learn, which was nice. But like it was about 3 months in that like I heard YYZ by Rush. It wasn't for the first time. I'd heard the song before, but once you pick up an instrument, as you probably know, your ear immediately goes to that when you listen to music. Yeah, absolutely. And so that song came on, and I was like, "Was that the bass?" And then I looked it up, and I started learning learning the best to my ability at the time how to play it.
Were you doing lessons or were you doing like YouTube?
No, I've never done lessons. It was YouTube and tabs.
Okay.
Yeah.
The it's an interesting thing too, right? Because the modern generation of musicians, a lot of them are learning through YouTube. Some people were inspired when Guitar Hero came out, right? And they're thinking that they could play guitar because they could hit those 4 buttons. But but there are bands out there, prog metal bands that are really adept at those video games. So Guitar Hero. Do you know the band Dragonforce? Have you heard that band?
Oh yeah. They are iconic in that genre.
They are. Yeah. So those the two lead guitarists, they're wicked gamers, right? And they could play pretty much everything. But Guitar Hero, they'll have these epic solo offs on the game itself, on the on the ultra mode or whatever it is, but I'm interested to see how this transition happened because you were that band when when Shane bought you the bass, you started playing in that band. How old were you?
19.
Okay, so right out of high school.
Yeah, it was like right after we graduated.
Okay, what was the plan in high school when you were getting out? Were you thinking my career is going to be
not music? It was definitely like I've always had a passion for music. I've always been a little singer. But like nothing, I wasn't trained or anything. It was just I would just sing all the time to songs I loved. But my plan after high school was to go to college for theater and acting. And then I was like, Mykel, you're broke. You can't afford that. So I didn't do that. But after high school, I did some short films here and there. And I did a few productions around Portland. And like it's still one of my passions. I really want to get back into it. But I definitely... music kind of has taken over that for the most part.
You mentioned theater early on too, so I was going to ask you about the acting part because you seem fearless. Ever since I've met you, really, I mean, you just seem like one of those guys that, you could throw caution to the wind and nothing really intimidates you to sort of try. And it's important in theater, obviously, when you're
Oh
walking
yeah,
on stage and acting too. If you're timid or shy at all, you're probably not going to land parts, right?
true, yeah, 100%.
Did you have an actor that was inspiring to you as you were growing up?
Oh, actually, no. So acting came to me because honestly, I didn't really even think about it. I just needed an extra elective for my freshman year of high school. My mom was like, "Hey, take drama. You're a drama queen," and I was like, "Yeah, exactly." I was like, "Fair enough." And so I took it, and in that first year, I was hooked. I loved that was like my fondest memories are of either theater productions or just like my group of friends in theater, that like just the stuff we did outside of school and whatnot. Like those are definitely hands down my favorite part of high school.
But how about productions? What was there first that you can remember?
No, the first production I was in was Treasure Island. I played a pirate.
I could see
Yeah.
that. I could see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It was it was interesting. It was fun.
When you talked about acting after school, if you were going to go, to be an actor, was it something that you wanted to do on stage and theater, or were you wanting to be a film or TV actor?
That's a good question. I initially started with just stage. I
Okay.
wanted to do stage. I hadn't done film yet. I didn't do film until a couple months after, which was my first like paid gig. I did a commercial for like stock film,
Okay.
and it was fun. It was awesome. But I okay, this sounds lazy, but I love stage productions, and I would still love to be in like stage productions. One of my dreams is to play Thomas Jefferson in Hamilton. I don't know if you've seen Hamilton.
Oh yeah,
Oh
man.
my god!
Oh,
Oh, my dream is to play Thomas Jefferson / Lafayette. That would my life would be complete. I could die contently if I just did one performance as him.
really?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
hold on. We're gonna stop this conversation for a second. Then,
Oh,
this
okay.
you've said this is your dream. Your life would be complete if you did that just once.
Oh yeah.
So, what are you doing right now to manifest that part of your life?
So that's a that's a great question. Okay. You don't put me on the spot.
I did put you on the spot. I'll tell you, man, how many people do we meet every day that say, "Oh man, I would kill to do X, Y, or Z," right? And as I get older, right, I just turned 50. So I hit this weird milestone that if I hadn't already accomplished things that I wanted to do, I'm running out of time, right? You're really
Yeah.
young at this point right now. It's not like I'm knocking on death's door or anything like that, but I realized that the things that I really wanted to do, places I wanted to go, Machu Picchu is one of those bucket list items,
Oh.
right? That I've got to get there. Now, I am in no physical shape to be hiking Machu Picchu. So if I'm serious about what I'm saying, then I've got to start working at getting my physical shape, my endurance up together, and start looking at the best guides because I've done tons of research on Machu Picchu. I've talked to a lot of people that have gone. But if I really mean it when I say, dude, bucket list item, I have to go to Machu Picchu, then I got to start right now. If Hamilton is where you're at and you want Thomas Jefferson's role, even once, if you do it once, you're not doing it just once, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
true. That's true.
you don't have to do it on
Unless I'm
Broadway.
awful.
They no, well, if it's a passion you have, I doubt you're going to be awful, right?
That's fair. That's true.
I mean, I think you seem to be pretty realistic about your capabilities. I know you could nail that,
Oh, thanks.
So I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I think the more people that I've talked to that I've said, where do you want to be 5 years from now? And they can say where they want to be, but they're really not putting any action in, right? So I'm not trying to give you a to-do list, but you've got a lot of hats you wear. I know that about you. I mean, but like I said, you seem fearless. You seem tenacious, so I'm not telling you to put your music on hold. I'm just saying use it to maybe get you, that next gig. So
I definitely that's kind of the plan at the moment, since I haven't done any acting work for I did a small thing like 2 years ago, but it's been about 3 years since the last like production I've done. But I recently last year I wanted to get back into it, and then all the COVID stuff hit.
Oh.
Whoopee. But it's kind of one of those things where it is one of my dreams, alongside with like performing at big venues and whatnot. Like I would love to play at festivals and stuff like that, but it's one of my mini dreams. And with that, it's like one of those things where if they come to Portland for like a touring Broadway for auditions, hands down, I'm definitely gonna audition. If I don't get it, I'll be bummed. But hey, if they come again, I'll definitely be trying again.
Yeah. The great thing about it is if you have some commercial success with music, your foot in the door is a little closer too, right?
That's true. That's true.
You've got some legitimacy. Wesley Wilsey over in the chat says, "I believe in Mykel. He could do it."
Wesley, how you doing, Wesley?
I think everybody that knows you knows that it doesn't seem like there's a lot you can't pull off. A lot of it.
Appreciate that.
Well, no, man. You've got this spirit when you first meet you that is authentic and sincere. You can tell that you naturally like people, and I think that is going to carry you really far, right? And in the millennial sort of genre that you're sort of a part of, you mentioned that it sounds lazy, right? That you said your goal towards theater acting and stage sounded lazy. When I think of lazy, I think of people that are just like collecting unemployment because it's easier to collect unemployment even if they're capable of doing work. Like right now during the pandemic, I know a lot of people that would say, God, I could get a job, but I'm actually kind of enjoying being at home collecting checks, right? And to me, I don't have a lot of pride in myself when I do that, right? I mean, I work really hard and I love the work, so this wasn't meant to be in like a social or political statement, but I love working hard and feeling really good about whatever I do. It's great to work smart and not hard if you can.
True.
But you've got your hand in a bunch of different pies. You've got your music. You've got a day job that helps bring you around people. I think you enjoy it quite a bit. And it also probably introduces a lot of people to your music, right? So
it's surprising how many customers have taken a liking to the music I've made and like how much they come back and ask about like when the next one's coming out. It's very nice.
Well, I didn't want to gloss over the other projects prior to Delta Avenue. Do you want to kind of catch me up from the first two?
So we did the Trying to Sleep. We did that for I believe like a year and a half, 2 years. We played a monthly gig at Feckin' Brewery. I feel like you've been there before.
Yep.
Yeah, we played a monthly gig there back when they first opened, so before they were even known as a music spot, which was super nice because I think Shane knew of the owner or something like that. So we started that monthly gig there, and then I eventually got together with my friend Dallas and we made a band. Well, Dallas and Alex actually comes later in the picture as well, but we made a band called The Function, and we played one show together, and it was a fun band. It was like very much like a pop punk kind of band. That was super fun. Still early in my years of being a musician. Didn't know much. I knew kind of what sounded good.
Playing bass still and singing?
Yeah, I played bass. I did some backing vocals for it. Dallas was lead, and then Alex played drums. And then he also went to school at CCC for like audio engineering, so he was pretty good at that.
Nice.
And so we put out a few little demos on SoundCloud as that band. But then we broke up because Alex moved to Virginia. I believe it was Virginia, to get married, which was awesome. Super happy for him. And then me and Dallas started a band called Dudley, and that was a very like kind of a grunge pop punk.
That's
garage
right.
band.
How did I forget about Dudley? You actually you did gigs with Caleb. That's right.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Oh man. Okay.
But yeah, Dudley happened, and then that band eventually broke up. And then
as they do.
Sorry. Oh
as
yeah. True. And then I joined a group called Tigers of Youth, which is phenomenal. They are a phenomenal group. They're like a soft rock with like kind of a jazz fusion sometimes. The lead singer, that's the front man, Dave, he is talented beyond belief. The stuff he plays on guitar while he sings, I don't get it. Like I have trouble playing bass and singing sometimes, and he plays the craziest chords, and I'm like stress watching him. It's really impressive, honestly. But I was with them for about 9 months, and it was a great band. I recommend, if you're watching, to look them up. Tigers of Youth. Really good stuff.
All right.
Yeah. And then we split apart, but with them I played a lot. I got a lot of experience playing shows because we played about 2 shows almost every single weekend, up to 3 shows a weekend. So in the 9 months I was with them, I believe we played over 70 shows. It
That's
was
so great.
Yeah, Dave was really good at it. He got a lot of good places. We actually did a little tour down to Santa Barbara. We played like 10 shows like down the Northwest. And that was super fun. That was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. And that
Yeah.
was super exciting.
That first tour, I mean, I know every musician that has gone on any kind of extended date tour like that, you'll never forget it. You'll remember the stops you had for food. You'll remember every stage, every mistake made on stage, you know, and
True.
every hot chick you met along the way. All that stuff is going to store in your brain, man. I love hearing about those the first tours. But yeah, anything stand out to you, like right off the bat that you think, oh my god, something crazy happened in San Francisco?
Oh no, I would say it was honestly fairly, because it was very nonstop.
Okay.
It was, we stopped, we played a show, then we went to a hotel, stayed the night.
Oh wait, you had hotels? That's not how first tours are supposed to be.
Okay, motels, not hotels. It wasn't that fancy.
I thought you were like sleeping in vans, you know, and you got to eat ramen on the way.
It was fortunate. Like the gigs he got were pretty well paying. I don't know how he found these gigs, but he's got his ends. He's a talented dude.
Good man.
But yeah, no, it was fairly just like play a show, go to the room, sleep. In the morning, we'd drive again to the next show. And it was a good time. I'd say the weirdest thing, and it wasn't even a crazy story, have you ever had kava?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was, and that was really weird to me. Like, we played at a kava bar.
Okay, where did you have it?
Oh, it was near Sacramento. I forget what city it was.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was that stuff, I'd never heard of it. Okay. And that was really weird to me. But
yeah.
Nothing sad like crazy rock star or anything like that.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to work on these trips stories, but
hey, well, I mean, by all means.
But that experience is cool because sometimes people, the very first tour will deter you from wanting to ever be really in a serious band. You know, I have plenty of stories that way. You know, that really should have. You know, and it still happens to this day. There are still crazy things that happen, but what really, for me, I think the carrot that was dangled was seeing, you know, national bands that I held in high regard, that I thought, oh man, they're four musketeers on stage, right? Just like doing it all for the love of the music. And they'd and sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. But whatever happened with Tigers of Youth, then you said Dudley was not the touring band, was it?
No, it was Tigers of Youth.
It was, okay. Yeah. So then you had Dudley, which led to Delta, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was Dudley, and then I was bandless for a few months, and then I found Tigers of Youth, and then in the midst of that, me, Kevin, and Caleb started trying to form Delta.
Okay. In this process of discovering music and touring and all these bands, did you have any serious romantic relationships along the way?
Yes. For honestly most of it, I had a serious relationship that lasted about 3.5 years on and off.
Okay.
Which I hate to say, but we tried.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, the reason I ask is because a lot of times relationships can be affected by the music pursuit, right? And
yeah.
I'm curious to know, was that something that got in the way musically? You know, with constant rehearsals and gigs, did that kind of like influence?
So surprisingly not. She was very, very supportive. She loved everything I did, and she was like, she had my back and no matter what. And like, then again, I didn't get to the point of going off for weeks or months. I didn't even get close to that. But whenever when I did that little tour thing, she was super down. She was always happy for me if I ever had any like big opportunity like that. So
okay,
I was very fortunate in that sense.
Sure. All right. That relationship is no longer. You're single now, right?
Yes, I am. Okay. I am a single man now.
I'm not trying to wingman you right now. But what it does, I mean, a single man during the pandemic is strange, right? Because if you're looking for relationships, dating during the pandemic is a little funky, right? It's a little odd. Yeah. Any advice out there for single guys dating?
Don't worry about it. Do your own thing. Focus on you. Pick up a hobby, and then
Awesome.
once COVID is done, you'll perfect something, and that will attract people.
I love it,
There we
man.
go.
Okay, all right. So make sure you guys write that down in the chat. You get embed that, write it on your arm, and then pencil it and tattoo it later.
I
All
love
right,
it.
yeah. So with Delta, I mean, I saw you guys play even during the pandemic. You had a couple of like small gigs that,
Yeah.
in rural areas that were supposed to be socially distant that weren't. I mean, okay, so we're in small town outside of Portland. And I will say, I've been very committed to making sure that I'm responsible in this pandemic, right? I'm masking up and I remain socially distant. I remember you saying, "Hey, but we have this gig," and I was really excited because I listen to music, love the stuff, and I show up forgetting that everybody in the planet loves Mykel Illa, right?
It's not just me. It's not just me. My whole band is a bunch of lovely people.
They are lovely people for sure, but I will say that I show up at this venue, man, it's packed. It's like a freaking Radiohead concert in there, and I don't think I saw one mask in there actually. And you guys were kind of like hiding off in the corner of the stage, hiding and kind of like smartly, cautiously, sort of like, how do we navigate through this room after we finish our break? But I stood outside the door and watched you through the window, and so it was a different perspective, right? So I put a lot of stuff on this All Access channel. When we're touring, I love to go backstage. I love to shoot videos of my buddies. We hang out and talk. Sometimes I'll shoot the band from the side stage, which is what I had that day when I watched you guys. And what I really loved was that everybody in the band switched spots, right? Everybody was trading places, singing lead. You'd have people swapping out on drums. And when I watched you, you looked so natural and just enjoying yourself on stage. Now, this is not me blowing you up. Like, I'm telling you that, sometimes you can see that people are really trying to mail it in. They're trying to fake it till you make it. You looked like, man, you're right where you need to be. And I was thinking, God, for somebody who's into playing bass as a drummer, I thrive on just having great pocket with a bass player, right?
Yes. It's all about the pocket.
Yeah, the rhythm section, man. So, like, how does that work in your band when you got people swapping out and you got different drummers come in? Does it kind of feel weird to have somebody like with a different style and feel?
So it's definitely different. I wouldn't necessarily say weird, but it's definitely something that, like, at first you kind of had to get used to.
Okay.
And also, we were very fortunate to where we all have a lot of chemistry.
Cool.
Like, right off the bat, we had really good chemistry. And so initially, when it was just Caleb, Kevin, and I, we were going to do just kind of a trio thing. But then, of course, you need a drummer. And then Hannah joined, and she's phenomenal on keys, and she joined with keys. But it took us a while to actually get a set drummer. We had our buddy Quinn. He played the first 2 shows with us as our drummer, and he was part of another band at the time, but he was just super talented dude. He was a homie. His band Statshire Hill now is phenomenal. Oh, fun fact, we're actually playing a show with them next month. We booked our first show out of COVID.
All right.
Out of COVID.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, he played 2 shows with us, and Christian didn't join as our drummer till like 3 months in.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. And so once he joined, he was just the drummer, but then we ended up making a couple songs where Christian made it known that he also really, really likes to play guitar, and Kevin happens to be a phenomenal drummer as well. And so they're like, yeah, we'll just switch on these songs. And I was like, cool, I can play one instrument. You guys do that. I'll stick over here.
That way you don't have to carry drums out. That's good. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know I've played so many different styles, but every band's bass player is different, right? And so that's, for me as a drummer, that's what I'm listening for the most. And sometimes I've played in bands that have synth bass played on tracks too, and that's such a drag, because I want it to ebb and flow. And so, like, if I thought about like the perfect, sort of groove, I'd want somebody that kind of lays back a little bit and makes, lays a bed for me to fall into.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite bass player now these days that you really love?
I would say my go-to whenever anybody asks me, the first person I think of is Victor Wooten, which I feel like he's like such a well-known name in the bass community, but he is my favorite because he was one of the first like melodic bass stuff I heard was from him,
Okay.
and that's what kind of inspired a lot of my playing. And then also just the stuff he does with the bass is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's
His harmonics.
Yeah, and his brother, man, he's got Future Man on drums too, which is
I'm not familiar with his brother.
Yeah, his brother is they call him Future Man. It's he has a drumitar. So it's like a keytar, but it's all drum pads, and he plays the most ridiculous badass prog stuff with his fingers and just like
what the heck?
Yeah. So you'll have to research a little
I'm gonna do that right after this because that's
Roy Wooten.
Epic. Roy Wooten.
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
All
right.
I was asking you about your favorite bass player. You mentioned Hamilton and the role of Thomas Jefferson being your sort of dream ultimate gig that way. How about musically? If somebody said, "Hey, you know what? Man, we're in a dire need. We need a bass player." Would you rather have a call for a vocal job or a bass player job?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Okay.
I would say ideally I would like a vocal job.
Okay.
I do enjoy singing more than I do bass. It's very close, but I think I would prefer getting some kind of vocal gig with with like one of my favorite bands, which would be nice.
Okay, so your favorite band calls you up. They say, "We need a new singer. Our guy just blew his throat out, at a show in Rome." Who is the band?
Lawrence.
Lawrence is the band.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what is Lawrence
Here,
like?
I will actually behind me if you look closely.
Oh, look at this. We got some vinyl.
I have a couple vinyl. Oh, don't fall. Stop that. I have a couple vinyls of theirs.
They're love the cover.
Oh, they are phenomenal. It's a brother sister duo from like the East Coast.
Okay.
And they play very much the kind of new funk, soul, pop. They are absolutely outstanding.
You've seen them live?
Oh yes, I've seen them live 4 times.
Okay, nice.
I think I've seen them live 4 times. I've gotten to talk to them after every show, which has been so cool. But yeah, hands down, if I could sing some of their songs, that would be so dope. So cool.
I'm gonna have to check out Lawrence because if I can picture Lawrence with Mykel Illa on lead vocals, then that'll be cool.
my voice is a bit different than Clyde, the lead singer. His is like it's a lot lower and like kind of gravelly, but it's so good.
You know what? This guy's been around for a long time, but what do you think of The Weeknd?
I like The Weeknd. I've been called The Weeknd a lot simply because of my hair.
I was going to say, and I hear a little bit of your the tonality in your voice in his too, which is cool.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. That is a compliment. I think he has a phenomenal voice. I don't know if you've heard his cover of Dirty Diana by Michael Jackson.
No. But that happens to be the video that that Jennifer Batten came on my radar. So I was talking about her earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the local wicked guitarist that I was mentioning before.
Yeah,
she's in the Dirty Diana video. So he covers that song, huh?
Yes, okay. And it's what made me like The Weeknd. Like I did not like him before I heard his music. I was like, okay, but it's tied with Michael Jackson's version. It's that good.
Okay.
And I love Michael Jackson.
I know you do. That means that says a lot. Who so if you were going to put together your dream band, right? So you got a vocalist, bass player, drummer, keyboardist.
That's okay. So I would say vocalist. Oh shoot.
They don't have to be alive either.
I have so many different because it would depend on the band style.
Okay. Well, think about that one. Table it because we're going to come back to it.
Okay.
Sometimes I know I feel bad because I didn't ask you any of these questions, but sometimes it's good to be spontaneous.
Hey, I'm a theater kid. Improv is where I thrive.
Okay, well then let's do this. I always ask about guilty pleasures, man. If somebody that knows Mykel Illa would be looking at your playlist, what would they be completely surprised by?
I think they would be surprised by some. Oh well, because I started that. I have some some worship music on there because I help with a worship band.
Okay.
And I feel like that might surprise people, but also I love Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I love
Wow,
oldies, but specifically Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
that wins. That's a good one.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I
right
just
on.
made my buddy Jordan watch Jersey Boys,
Oh
which
wow,
is I don't know if you've seen it, but
I
it's the
haven't.
story. Oh
Yep,
yeah,
I know about it, but yeah, I haven't watched it. But
I think it's like $4 on Amazon Prime, but it's like it's such a good film adaptation of the Broadway play.
okay,
Yeah.
have you seen Jersey Boys on theater in theater?
No, I
Okay.
would love to. I've only seen the movie.
How about like as far as big theater productions go? Have you been to New York? Have you gone to see anything on Broadway?
I've only seen things on touring Broadway, like at the Keller. I
Okay,
saw Rock of Ages, which was phenomenal.
that's yeah.
I saw The Book of Mormon.
Oh my god, that was so good.
It was so good.
I was there. That was probably the
Really?
best
Oh,
production
yeah.
I've ever seen.
I was kind of upset because I bought tickets for me and the girlfriend I was talking about at the time. I bought tickets for us to go see it last year, but then it was like 2 months after COVID hit and they canceled.
Yeah.
And then I saw Sister Act,
Okay.
which also has one of my dream roles in it. It's like I love secondary like side characters.
Okay.
Some people love to be like the front and center, like the main character, but in my opinion, I feel like secondary characters always have the best, like most juicy roles or memorable roles.
Okay. Well, do you favor the protagonist or the antagonist? Are you the villain?
Oh,
Your smile would make it really difficult for you to be a villain, but I would think maybe that's the devilish thing, you know?
yeah, I would love to play a villain. I've only played a villain in one thing, and it was a film, but it didn't get released because like they made like a little commercial for it, which was really cool. But then I think like he said the files got messed up or something, or they lost them. But even then, I love to play a villain because it is so contrast to how I am normally.
Yeah.
And I would love for people to see me in a light that they don't really ever see me in.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to see someone as an actor if you're seeing them in a role that they don't normally act like.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, this is interesting sort of parallel there, but my son and I were talking about Adam Sandler, right? You'll always see him in these silly, stupid comedies. And then when Uncut Gems came out last year, like, did you see that?
Blindsided.
Wow. Yeah. So intense, really, really tragic movie, but it's crazy. And he's great in it. So I think that was for him, that was a really smart game changer move. But
yeah, it's like that one movie where he's like, yeah, no, I'm an actual actor, I can do this as well,
right? Yeah,
but I choose to be funny.
Well, it probably makes a lot more money being funny, just keep
True.
it going.
Yeah, because I'm a big comedy guy. Like I'm very picky on the movies I watch, so I don't watch too many movies that aren't comedies.
What's your favorite comedy movie?
Oh, it would have to be Step Brothers or Deadpool.
Okay. Oh my god, Deadpool was a game changer for me because you talked about being a nerd. Are you a Marvel guy or a DC guy?
Yes, I am. I got myself my Spider-Man tattoo.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, man. So
that was my first tattoo ever, actually.
That's a good one. Let's see that again. Let's take a look at that. Right on, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
You can almost shoot webs from your wrist. There.
Almost. That was the point.
Until I saw Deadpool, the comic book movies really didn't get me, and I just think that was genius. It was fantastic. But I know I'm probably going to alienate a lot of people by saying that. But
no,
I got a lot of comic book buddies that give me grief because But anyway, so as far I was asking about comedies, do you go see live comedy stuff at all, like big shows?
I've seen a couple stand-up comedies around Portland, and then I also saw Kevin Hart live a few years ago. I say a few, it was like 5 years ago.
How was that, man? I bet he was great.
Oh, crying.
Yeah,
peed my pants. Kevin Hart's hilarious. It was really good.
I went to see Tracy Morgan at the Keller, hoping, but it was not good, buddy. And I love him. I thought it'd be great, and it was a drag. Yeah, I think he was completely hammered walking in. So nothing he said was funny, and he was kind of, it was a drag. So
that's
hit and miss, man. We all have good and bad days, I suppose. True. But yeah, I think the Kevin Hart show would have been a lot more funny. I think Wanda Sykes was one that I was so surprised by. She was hilarious.
Oh, I like Wanda Sykes.
She's awesome. Yeah.
I would love to see John Mulaney live.
One of my hopes is to get more comedians on this show. I've seen a ton.
That'd be cool.
Like, Helium Comedy here in town. I was excited to see Helium pop in because Harvey's Comedy Club has been around here for a long time, and it was kind of old and dingy right next to the bus station.
Okay.
Helium popped up, and they started getting all these great, nationally known, internationally known comics. And I've seen a lot there. But during the COVID thing, they're trying to do like streaming comedy. And I think so much is about the room, right? You
Oh
need
yeah.
the ambiance of the room. But there are people weighing in. I got friends here on the chat weighing in on their favorite comedies, but
Oh,
their favorite
Tiffany
comedians.
Haddish. Oh, I've heard of her. Tiffany Haddish is pretty funny. I think I've seen a couple clips of her.
I haven't, but there were some actors or some comedians that I really liked a lot in college. One I had this major crush on because when MTV was playing a short segment of comedians,
Mhm.
MTV, music TV, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not that young.
I know, but it's just so rare to imagine people playing music. But this
True.
gal Felicia Michaels was on, and she had this cutesy voice, but she swore like a sailor, and really dirty girl. She came through and toured my college, and so I got to meet her. And
Oh,
it was about the same week that she was in Playboy, and so I brought the Playboy to have her sign it, which she was great. Well,
that's
she
awesome.
graciously did. So
I love that.
But we've been friends on social media for a while. And
Really?
I reached out seeing if she wanted to come on the show. And yeah, no, I got a big fat no. So actually, she's like, how do we know each other again? And I said, okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We'll just wait until she'll be begging to come back on. But
100%.
after she sees Mykel Illa on this show, she's gonna be like,
oh, okay.
What's up, sexy time? Yeah. I you know what, man? One of my favorite things to do too, buddy, is I just love kind of getting a taste of some live music. And I know it's tough without your band there, but I love the funky bass, man. Would you be up for playing a little when you sit down at sound check, or the first thing you do when you pick up a bass, do you kind of have a go-to riff that you do?
I would say so. Yeah, it's just like a descending in the major key.
All right. Are you
normally probably E?
You warm up doing like slap funk stuff or anything like that?
I actually need to get better at slap.
Okay.
And the bass I have.
Oh, you just happen to have it right there. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is my little studio area. I have my guitars back there. But yeah, like it's a great bass, but it's not good for slap. Specifically like thumping, it's too poppy.
Okay.
So I've been looking into buying a new bass specifically for slap, but
do you always play a 5-string? Is that your main?
Yes, yeah.
Right.
It's a 5-string with the high C. I took the low B off, and then I just shifted all the strings up to have that high C.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you weren't going to be doing any metal, right? So
not doing any metal. And when I bought it, I was part of 2-3-part bands, and I was doing a lot of the melodic work rather than the guitarist doing mainly just kind of holding down the rhythm.
You have evolved into Getty.
Oh
yeah,
I do my best.
Yeah, man. Let's hear a little bit, man. Let's just so we can get the vocal or the bass.
Let's see how it sounds, though. Let's see. Is it too loud?
Yeah. Just pull the gain down just a hair.
Gain down a little bit.
Yeah. Look at that gaming chair, man. We know that we've got a serious gamer when he's got that guy.
You like that?
Yeah, I do like that one. What do you think of this one? Is this am I all right?
Ooh, you look comfy.
Yeah. I don't know about this pillow thing, but
how's the levels on that?
That's perfect.
Like so my favorite bass line, one of my favorite original bass lines is for, I don't know if you've heard of song Cards on the Table.
No,
but it's fun. It's like a mixture of it's like a rock funk kind of bass line, but it goes and then it goes right back into the thing I started with playing.
I totally know. That's the Delta Avenue song.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I know that.
It's one of my favorite original bass lines.
I love it. That's great, man. I totally know that song.
Oh, thank you, by the way, Mike. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. He has been to so many different gigs that I've done over the years. So he's seen the good ones, he's seen the bad ones, and everything in between. So
right on.
I think if you were going to play bass in a band. Like if you're, a band. Oh, look at this. Yeah,
I
get us
got
close.
way too close. My
No.
bad.
Oh, look at this.
There we go.
Caleb Rankin's in the chat now. He said Michael's one of the coolest.
Caleb.
He's in Montana right now.
Oh, he already. Oh, wait, yeah, he's going there and then he's coming back and then moving, right?
I don't know, man. He might not even come back. He just added another week. So
Caleb,
yeah,
you better
man.
come back. We never got to hang out.
Nah, you got to come back and jam with him, man. I think I don't know if you heard that, Caleb. He was saying that the first bass riff that got him interested in bass was what?
YYZ by Rush.
There you go, man. Yeah. Check this out. Caleb, can I show him? Let's see.
Caleb, we're gonna take the silence as a yes.
All right. This was Caleb's Christmas present.
Yo, that is so sick.
Well, check this out. It's actually
really?
Yeah, Neil Peart autograph. Yeah, man. You won't find that anywhere. So yeah. Bro, if he doesn't come back from Montana, then I'm just gonna hawk that. But anyway, I'm kidding.
It's gonna throw it away.
So let me ask you this, man. On a Saturday afternoon when you're not working, are you Twitch streaming? Are you gaming? Or are you playing bass?
So lately I've been doing a lot of music.
Okay.
I was on a big gaming kick when the newest expansion came out and I was playing too much. But I'd say like the past week I've been doing a lot of trying to write more music and do stuff for like my solo stuff. I just wrote a song last week that I'm going to record next. And then I also finished recording my second solo song last week. And so I'd say definitely music at the moment.
Okay, man. Yeah. I if you've got an opportunity where you could do the Twitch streaming and make some money at it at the same time, then you get the bonus, right? You get to do some residual money and they could do some music. I want to play, this is just going to be coming through my speakers, so you probably won't even hear this very well. But if you guys are listening, this is I was going to make a little video clip so you could hear this, but this is Michael's new single, Tragic. As this leads in here, you want to tell me about how this formed and how you put this together?
Yeah. So remember earlier when I said Alex moved to Virginia and he'll come back to the story?
Yep.
So he hit me up September-ish, sometime like mid-late last year. And he was like, hey, man, I just want to let you know that like, I'm making beats now. I'm producing them myself and making them. I'd love it if you like gave it a listen and then send anybody my way if they're looking for beats. And I was like, oh, dude, of course. I'd love to support. And so I listened to them and they were phenomenally produced. They sounded really good. But the ones he had were more trap, and I'm definitely not a trap artist.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, do you do custom beats? And he was like, I could definitely try. So I sent him a song that I wanted kind of the feel of, which was Broke by Sam Henshaw, which is also one of my favorite artists at the moment.
All right.
And I was like, if you could do something along the lines of this, like the only requirements I have, or I love eighth note keys. Those kill me in songs. If I hear that, I'm like, yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
And
That's
same with horns. As you hear like little horn swells in there. They're MIDI horns, but they're horns nonetheless, and I love it.
It's hard to find a good horn section to hire. So
true, and it's expensive, and I don't have that money.
Right. Not yet. Not to
not yet. Exactly.
Just get 3 more subscribers and then
exactly. But yeah, so he made me like a scratch track of it, and I was like, I like this. Like, could you add? And I showed him a guitar part I wanted, and then I told him to add a couple more percussion things, and then he sent me the final draft of it, and it was phenomenal. I was like, just the beat alone, I was like, ooh, I like this. So I decided I'd write a song to it, just kind of for fun. I didn't really have any intentions to start with, but after I wrote it, I was like, oh, this kind of turned out pretty well. And then I showed it to a few people, and they liked it, and I was like, And then I had my buddy James Aldrich, who's really good audio engineer / producer, and he'd been asking to work with Delta, but we had a guy for recording, and so I was like, hey, I would like to record this as like my first solo thing. Would you be down? And he was super down for it.
Right.
So, yeah, he definitely helped meld it all together. And then my friend Carly did phenomenal backing tracks and backing vocals for the song, which I think really made the song. Like honestly, like
It's great. A great compliment to the song.
thank you. Yo, yeah.
Is she a lead vocalist in other, like a solo artist?
So no, she was actually Shane from Trying to Sleep. They are married and they started the band back when they were dating, and so she was part of Trying to Sleep. So we actually had 3 lead singers because we did 3-hour shows, and so we did. I sang lead on a third of the songs. My friend Matt Devlin sang lead on a third, and then Carly sang the last third.
Okay.
And it wasn't really in that order. The songs were all split up.
Sure.
But yeah, but she's working on a song right now because she's finally getting to get back into music because she hadn't been able to do it for a while. And then when I asked her to do that, she was more than happy to help. And she was such a big help that I asked her to help on this next one that I just recorded. And she was really excited about it. So she's finishing one of her songs that she's been writing, which I'm really excited for. Right, I think it's going to turn out very well. So not at the moment, but she will be having something out in the next few months, probably.
I'm gonna just play a little bit more of this. I want to hear just
thank you.
Yeah, let's give the people a taste here.
See you standing over there with me, baby, grab my hand, the only one I see your pieces trying. You got me feeling lame, cause when you say my name, I'm going crazy, and I just can't seem to calm my brain. I give a fortune and fame, change, to work on the chain gang, and throw on my change range, so I can say your name. I'm falling head over heels. Trust me, it's not my idea for me to feel what I feel. I think I'm falling for you, and I don't know what to do. Cause when you're looking at me, I find it harder to breathe. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I'm
Yeah.
glad you like it.
It's man, it's so uplifting. You know, I mean, there's like, even though you talked about this song being, unrequited love, breakup, but it's it's optimistic, it's positive, it feels good to come out of that. So I as you're doing, yeah, it's good. He says that Caleb will be back too.
Oh, good.
Yes, I thought for sure he'd come back screaming because it's cold and snowy there. That's I grew up there in the mountains.
Oh,
and
really?
I couldn't wait to get out of the mountains and go to the city, become a rock star, right? But
hey, and you succeeded, dude. You are a rock star.
I get just the amount of rock star to satisfy my needs, and they just started booking a bunch of shows today. We got a whole bunch of new shows. So
yes, I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that, man.
Post pandemic, man, I'm excited too. And actually, check this out. This is really cool. You'll appreciate this. You know the band The Romantics? What I Like About You is their big hit.
That's what I like about you.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the guitarist, Mike Skill, lives here in Portland, and he and I have done a lot of stuff together. We just did a recording last week, and then he said, hey, I just got asked to do a live stream for Spin Magazine. You interested? I'm like, yes. So Thursday, next week, we're doing a live stream on Twitch, on Spin's Twitch channel. So
that's so cool.
There you go. Yeah. So that I'm excited to just play some music. Now, the next goal for me is that because you have this wicked pocket and fun, I will say that, okay, because you have that, I can't wait to do something musically with you. I think it'd be really cool, man. Just
I would
to come
love
to. Even if you're playing a Delta gig and I could just kick Christian off the drums for a song, whatever,
yeah,
but
go.
Just for one song. But I don't even know if I was supposed to announce that Spin thing. It probably is. But whatever. I'm excited to do it. Doesn't matter. But what I was going to say is when the sorry. Oh, hang on. What's I got to kill my music here. This is no longer.
Oh, you're all good.
That's no longer Mykel Illa. That was Robbie Robertson. Yeah. What's the future hold for Mykel Illa? So now that the pandemic's done, you got a gig coming up. You said there's a new Delta gig.
Yeah. It's at this kind of smaller venue in Portland called Hawthorne Hideaway. I'm super excited for it. It's really cool. Though it's funny. The first time we played there, we booked the gig, but then we weren't told that we couldn't play covers, and it was early on, and so we only had like 5 originals, and we're like, vamp. We need to vamp.
Oh God. Is that I'm gonna imagine that's because of the publishing, right? The
I
ASCAP
think so.
guys, they come in and collect the
Yeah,
clubs don't want to have to pay those royalties,
true. Yeah.
But
Yeah, then they were really strict on that. But I mean, it wasn't bad. We got to vamp on some of our originals. It was very impromptu, have to really work on our musicianship, which I love. Whenever we have opportunities where we have to do that, it's like stressful, but afterwards, it's like, okay, we got through it. Great.
I think your theater background probably helped with that, right? Just the improv.
I think I definitely I kick in the gear of how do I make it look like I'm not messing up right now.
Right. I won't recommend this, but a lot of bass players just say blame it on the drummer. They always
never. Oh no.
What you have any like hilarious moments on stage that you think, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing?
So I feel like these are very much so you had to be there, but there have been a couple gigs where like we're all supposed to come in and then like someone hits a really bad note, like Kevin. There's a song that we have called Drinking Alone, and it's very poppy, but it comes in just a key melody and then the guitar, and he just came in on the complete wrong chord, and he hit it like 3 times.
Oh no.
It was the funny. It just sounds. We have a clip of it somewhere, and I should have got these ready just in case you asked me, but it was hilarious. And then we played at this. Do you know what Red Door Meet is? That car meet thing in Portland.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So we played there a couple times.
Really?
And yeah, there's this guy. His name is Eddie. Super cool guy. He owns Old Red, which is like this fire truck that he has like lights attached to and like a sound system. And so he just set up on the side, and so he was like, you guys should come play. And I was like, okay. We didn't even know we were supposed to be there. So we just came and we played. But anyways, we were playing, and there's a part of one of our songs where like there's that little 2-bar break, and then we come back in, but we have to kind of wait for like the vocals come in on the 3, and so it kind of gives us a second to really come in. But I don't know why, but no, the drums come in with a snare and a bass or something like that, but he just didn't come in. And it was we're sitting there and we're just statued like
that's art.
And it was like a bar and a half late, and it was it's super funny in the moment, and looking back it's like
train wrecks, man. Train wrecks can make or break it, the
absolute best.
Oh my god.
And then one time halfway through a set, well, my D string broke, and I had to play the rest of the set trying to figure out how to get around that.
Oh my god. Yeah, man. When you break like your bottom string, you're in trouble, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like thinking about the first. I was so psyched with the band I was in. It was called Animotion. It was an 80s thing. We played my first arena gig. We were at Miami Arena in 2002, and our singer, I love him to death. He's wonderful, but he's so clumsy. And like if there's a extra cord around, he'll trip on it. Poor guy. He's a really physically fit, gentleman, middle-aged gentleman.
All right.
But he's got this mesh shirt underneath this like other, dress shirt. And we did a cover of Billy Idol's White Wedding. It was all, it was kind of a playful thing because there's 2 singers, a guy and a girl. He comes out and she comes out in a wedding dress. He comes out as this dark, badass Billy Idol kind of guy. And while he's singing, he's trying to flip off his dress shirt, and he slams the microphone on the stage. Boom! In this huge arena. And of course I have a DVD of that, but it's in a break. And so then he tries to fumble to catch it, but keeps knocking the microphone on the ground. And so it gets worse and worse. It's like a Saturday Night Live skit. But
no.
I got a lot of those. And I've had a million drum mess ups and that kind of thing too. But I would like to blame it on the singer,
Yeah. You came in too soon. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, right, man. I would love for people that are just getting a chance to know who Mykel Illa is and they want to hear your music. You got your Instagram here, but how do they find your stuff? What do we locate Tragic? And
we are. So my solo stuff is on everything, as well as Delta Avenue stuff. I'm under m.illa for my solo stuff, and then just Delta Avenue on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, Napster, all that good stuff.
Right on.
Yeah.
So the show that you have coming up in Portland area, you said is when?
It's March 31st. No,
Okay.
not 31st. March 30th. At 8 o'clock.
March 31st is not happening, buddy.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's not a thing.
If somebody booked you on March 31st, dude, they're screwing with you, man. Like, yeah, that.
I've been bamboozled.
That's right. Okay, so March 30th at where?
Yeah, at Hawthorne Hideaway.
Hawthorne Hideaway. All right, man. That's Delta Avenue. Mykel Illa, dude, I'm so glad to see you. It's fun to get to see all these different sides of you.
Thanks for having me, dude.
I think this, and everybody will agree with me a bit in the chat. What we needed to see right now is that Michael's going to turn off his computer. He's not going to go to World of Warcraft. He's going to go get the script out for Hamilton. He's going to practice that Thomas Jefferson part, because the next time we see you is going to be on stage, right? At the Keller. And
I hope that would be great.
Right? Man, the world's greatest smile, dude. Thank you for taking time out with me. And I look forward to seeing you, as Edgar and I come by to pass through.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Thanks, my friend. Have a beautiful day.
Hey,
you guys, you folks out there, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to come back and watch this again on Facebook, you can do it at 7 o'clock Pacific tonight. So subscribe and then go out and find Mykel Illa. Oh, your battery's exhausted. He's out of here. That is perfect time. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Mykel. Have a beautiful day, guys. And I'll be back tomorrow with Kayvon. Friday, when in Rome, known for the promise. All right, guys. Have a good weekend.